this for? I push you out, but you come back. That attraction, we can't fight that. Oh, keep telling myself that I should let go, but I hold on. And oh, keep telling myself that I should move on, but I don't. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. We got that, 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 we got that love, we got that, we got that. Kiss me and the world disappears. Tell me the things that I wanna hear. I just wanna stay right here. You push me out, but I come back. That attraction, I can't fight that. Oh, keep telling myself that I should let go, but I hold on. And oh, keep telling myself that I should move on, but I don't. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. 'Cause we got that mad love, we got that sad love, we got that fun love, we got that young love, yeah, that dumb love. We got that love, we got that, 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 we got that I can't believe that you came into my life. You made me feel again. Now it's my turn. You say you've always been a little bit shy, but I can put an end to your fears. Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to bleed. DJ, take it away. Tonight is all for you and me. So baby, spin and let the music begin. I know you feel it within, so go ahead and just spin for me. Won't you spin? Don't let the doubt in you win. I know you feel it within.
Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing? Welcome to the Rebellious Business Show. If you're just tuning in for the first time, my name is Cordelia Kate, and I'm here with Caroline Antonia, my beautiful, wonderful business partner. How are you doing, Caroline?
Am I unmuted? I am unmuted. I am great. Thank you. It's not the first time you've asked me today. As per usual, we always have stuff going on right up to the show.
I need a new opener. How do I bring you on without asking you how you are? It just feels like general politeness, you know?
We should probably discuss this before we start the show.
We should. Well, anyway, if you are tuning in for the first time, drop us a hashtag live, hashtag newbie. My name's Cordelia. This is Caroline. We run this show every Wednesday to bring you trainings, tips, tricks, guest experts, things to help you continue running the business of your dreams. And yeah, we've been running this since 2020. It's been going a long time. God knows what episode number we're on, but it's something large. And
it's over 200, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But welcome.
I don't know.
Welcome, everybody. It's good to have you here.
Welcome. welcome. Shall I introduce the host?
Well, no, let's
Guest.
not introduce we are the hosts, but let's
We are
have
the hosts.
a message from today's sponsor, if we can, please, Caroline.
Well, yes, we need to rediscuss
we're
this as
good.
well.
We're good. We're good with. I've got the link. We're ready to go with today's sponsor.
Fantastic. So last time we well, actually, we'll go past that. Today's sponsor is DJ Tutorials, which is a business run by Mark Chu, helping DJs go from in their bedroom playing to their desk lamps and everything in their bedroom, right the way to getting paid gigs in clubs and getting that visibility to actually get out in front of people and get paid as well. So this is what DJ Tutorials teaches DJs to do. However, Mark Chu, the founder and the person who runs DJ Tutorials, also has a show every Tuesday called Dex Education at 1 p.m. I must clarify that. Dex Education at 1 p.m. on a Tuesday, and is looking for guest experts to come and join and to share their insights. Now, you don't have to have any expertise in DJing or have worked with DJs in the past. It is an audience of predominantly DJs that Mark is presenting to. However, it's business skills, it's marketing skills, it's finance skills, whatever skills you have that can help aspiring DJs get visibility, improve their finances, improve their mental health, improve whatever it is, then Mark's looking for guest speakers. So there is going to be a link shared on the Facebook and in the chat, which is to apply to be Mark's speaker on the Dex Education show. We should also share a link to Dex Education. I'm going to bring that up now. Dex Education.
Yeah, and just to say as well, this live show is being live streamed to Mark's audience. He's got a huge audience, and his clients or the people that are, in his audience are people that are either DJing as a hobby or DJing as a business. And those people need support in so many different areas when it comes to branding, marketing, coaching, confidence, so many different things. If you imagine what could I bring to a DJ from my area of expertise that would help them perform better, get more clients, market themselves better, position themselves better, get more bookings, raise their profile, get more visibility, expand their network, etc. And actually, the other thing to add as well is that this show is not just live streamed onto social media, it's also very soon to be turned into a podcast. And he's getting some really great guests on this show who have quite a good name inside the DJ world as well. So it's a good opportunity if you're looking for podcast interviews, if you're looking for speaking opportunities. It's a really good one. And he's also had so many applicants as well. I think he's had about 70 just from Rebellious Business Networks. That's awesome. A lot of you have probably applied already, but if you haven't and you think you can bring something to the DJ world, then there's the link.
There's at least 70 weeks dealt with. So we've got over a year. Is this shared on the Facebook page as well, or is it just in the? I've shared
it on the Facebook page. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Excellent.
Oh no, I've shared it to YouTube. Hang on.
Yeah, you go.
Oh,
no, it is on. Oh, well done. That teamwork makes the dream work.
So what's happening today, Caroline? We need a little sound effect and a change of mode.
If you are watching live, give us a hashtag live. We need that. Have we already said that?
Yeah, we said that, but we said it at the start. Okay. That's fine. What next?
Keep going, guys, because we haven't got any chats. There's no chat happening on the Facebook page at the moment, so definitely need people to chime in there. And today we have one of our fabulous clients who has been absolutely smashing it, Heather. And Heather, hello, Heather. Like magic popped up. And we're going to be talking about coherence, online coherence, some tips to help you like make your brand visibility, coherent, smooth, get more functionality out of it so it supports your business, and also, you know, the like what you feel is important when running a business. So we've kind of dropped Heather in, like we're trying to have more conversational shows, we're trying to make it more natural, we're trying to make it less webinar style. So Heather is being a bit of a guinea pig today, so she's being a really good sport, and we're gonna talk about this in general. So to start with your clients, or just in general, what you see online, what is an issue that people are struggling with in terms of presenting themselves coherently, or just presenting themselves to their audience? And this could be in websites. I mean, where would you start if you were to look at that?
That's a really great question. I think where people struggle is getting their voice, like finding their voice, their brand voice, their messaging. And then that you see on their content, on their social media. You see that on their website. So yeah, I think that's the first thing. I think people get really bogged down in kind of colors and fonts and branding, which yes is important, and yes it should reflect your brand, but you can change that. You know, I always say that kind of stuff is kind of like paint. Like if your business was a house, that's the paint on the walls. That's not, you know, that can be changed. But the actual foundations, you know, the actual walls, that's your voice that you kind of need to, I think, nail, or at least make it authentic to you, rather than sounding either too corporate, which I see a lot from people that have come from the corporate world, or too copycat. So where you see everyone's saying the same sort of stuff, the same phrasing, especially the same kind of message, where you see people copy each other all the time, right? Especially if you're following people in your industry, it can be easy to adopt other people's voices. And I think that's where you stand out. And also further down the line, it's your style of how you communicate. So I had someone yesterday say to me, "Oh, I love the way you do stories." And I was like, "Really?" And they're like, "You're always really close up." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's usually an absolute mess behind me." You know? But actually they love that personal touch, because I want to talk to one person. I don't want to talk to the masses. And I don't want it to be super aesthetic. "Oh, I'm walking down the beach, you know, in my bikini." Like, that's not my business. Like, I'm one-on-one. I build rapport with people. That's one of my biggest strengths. So I need to reflect that in how I present myself.
It's interesting you talk about the copycat thing. I think that a lot of people need that at the start. I certainly did a bit of copycat. I think we've all guilty of that. And actually, we create a system in RIA that allows people to be complete copycats until you find your voice. What would you say the stages that, you know, when actually it's time to move away from that, and how do you then create your own style and create your own voice if you have been in that copycat phase? Because the reason why I say this as well is I compare it a bit to cooking, right? When we first start cooking, we use recipes and we follow the recipes by the letter. We start to get fluent with cooking, then we know what pairs with what and what works and what tastes good. And we don't really, I mean, I've got about 50 cookbooks and I don't look at them anymore, to be honest. And I used to really rely on them. And now I could create my own, I imagine, if I had the time to, or the desire. So let's speak into that transition, because I don't want to say, oh, it's bad to copy. I think we need to copy, but then at what point is it good to then start finding your own voice, and how do we do that?
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying with and yes, it's really good to have a framework 100% at the beginning, because you don't really know what you're doing, you know, and often you don't know what a sales funnel is, and you don't know what a freebie is, and you don't know how to build your website, and you don't know what you're going to say, and you need help with emails. And that's why people make a lot of money, you know, selling all these templates. But I think I would say between kind of 18 months to 2 years, and maybe even sooner, maybe after the first year, that's where I think you come into your own. and you find your voice. And I think that's a lot of that's with, and I hate saying I think, sounds like I know everything. I don't, but personally, in my opinion, I think that comes with confidence, the confidence in your business, and that's how you get your voice. And there's a really easy way of doing it, actually, which some people, I think, is really easy. And actually, you guys support this as well, and you probably don't realize, but it's making videos, talking to the camera, or even voice noting yourself, or like recording a conversation you're having with a friend that doesn't know anything about your business, and how you come across and how you explain yourself. That's an easy way of finding your voice, in my opinion.
Quickly, what I really want to get into is, what are the symptoms before we get into like some real like nitty gritties? Like, what are the symptoms? So like the problem is like finding your voice. Like, people aren't necessarily confident in their voice or not really sure about their message, but how does that show? How does that manifest on like in their online presence? Like, how does that show up? What do you see if someone's in a website or on someone's social media page, if they are struggling with this?
Website, I have seen everything from what looks like a CV copied and pasted into a website, like bullet points, multiple pages of all the different things they can help people with, but more listed out, not how they can help, but not how they can, you know, change that person's life, that kind of transformation that everyone's looking for. I see that on websites. I see on socials a lot of posts, very similar sort of posts. And again, it's all the same, what I can do, what I do, which is great. Obviously, you need to know what you do, but I think no one, you know, they don't really go into how they can change it. So yeah, it is really hard at the beginning to know what to write. I certainly struggled myself to know, you know, what to put on my website. This is what I do. But I think as you get further down the line and you start working with people, you realize actually it's that market research, isn't it, that you get from your clients. It's what they're struggling with and how actually they need what you do.
What was it that you talked to me about the other day? Oh, actually, you know, we can get onto that later, because I remember you said something that was really funny, but I think we'll pull on that a bit later. It was a reference to a car crash, which we were getting to. I think we'll get into that later. When we were first talking about doing this show as well, I think one of the things that you really spoke to me about, which you see a lot, I don't know, it like basically is like there's lots going on as well. Lots going on where nothing is like shining out. Like, that's where I most picked up of when we're talking, when you're working with people. At least this is what I picked up from our conversations, was that what you're seeing in people's websites or their social media is like there is so much going on. And this is something like you had struggles with, we've had struggles with as well. I feel like it's really common to just go, I can do so many things. I can do all of the things. If you're a service-based business owner, you yourself are the product. So you're like, well, like, I'm not limited to this just one thing. I can do all of the things. So therefore, I'm going to put it all out there. And then it's like, then you're basically putting out a jungle, which just, when you look at it, it's just green. You don't see all the various different plants. So it's like, you're camouflaging. That's what I have definitely seen on just so many websites, profiles about presenting themselves. So is this a problem that you feel is significant?
Yeah, people try and do too much, and I get that, and they offer too much, and then they don't know what to sell, or what they're trying to, how they're selling is very confusing because there's so much. So yeah, I think, yeah, absolutely. And I know what we were talking about, simplifying it and streamlining. And I was recently speaking to someone who had quite a lot of different parts of their business. And, I said, but what do you actually want to concentrate on? And it was like, oh, I want to concentrate on this part of my business. And I can actually sell the other parts, like products and digital products, on a different platform, for example, so that the business was streamlined, so that people jump on her website, it's just one thing.
So does that feed into finding your voice then? Like, if you get more specific in what you're selling and you've got that one thing, then is that a step towards them feeling like you found your voice, because now you've got a simple message to convey? Absolutely.
Simplicity, is key. I definitely have seen that. And then, you see more conversions because you're keeping it simpler and people know exactly what you're doing. So, and this particular lady had someone driving up and down her street thinking she had a shop. And she was like, oh no, I just went out my garage, But that was the power of them, her. And that was literally in a space of a matter of weeks of just concentrating on the one thing.
Someone was driving up and down a road before or after?
After.
Looking for her shop?
Yeah. She doesn't have
I don't know how I'd feel about that. Oh, I'm driving outside my house. But I guess it's good. It's good to know that people are looking for you. But I'd definitely be a bit freaked out by that.
Well, I guess she's got her registered office set as her house address, and then she's got perhaps like the Google Shop account thing set up with that address on it.
Exactly. So it was, but I was just goes to show that once you've realized, once you bring everything in line with, I guess, your overall business strategy, then you can actually convert.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier for people to understand what it is you do. It doesn't matter. And I think someone's just popped a comment in there saying, what if you do more than one thing? It doesn't matter if you do more than one thing, but it's what do you want to concentrate on? And you can use your online presence to show that. I think a classic example is any online retailer. If you go on the ASOS website, right? Yeah. What are they concentrating on that month? What sales have they got on? What products are they trying to promote? What new collections have they got in? That's the first thing you're going to see. Doesn't matter if you want to buy a pair of winter boots in July, the first thing you're going to see is what they're promoting that day, that month, that week, whatever it is.
That's a really good example, actually, because ASOS sell thousands of products. However, I would argue you'd kind of like go like, just because it's a big retailer, it doesn't mean that it's like core offering is different, right? Like the core offering is making a wide variety of clothes from different brands, different price points available in one place. Like, so they have got this core offering. And I think that's the difference between going, oh, okay, I do lots of different things. Of course, you can have lots of products, right? Like that ideally, well, depends. Like you can have one product that's so expensive and that will keep you going forever. But let's say you've got a product that's, not that expensive. Ideally, you want to have either lots of stock or lots of, you do maybe want to diversify. That is a definite thing. But you want to have a core offering or a core like value proposition, which is just one thing really. Like, what does your business stand for? I think that would be that would be really, really crucial. And that is probably the key, is like most people I see are not really focusing on what they stand for, what they provide. And even because they can do so many things, I guess the thing is everyone does one thing, even if you do multiple things, but your one thing could be jack of all trade, master of none. And that doesn't sell very well. It's not the best thing, because lots of people are jack of all trades, master of none. Lots of people do not specify and get down into like a specialism, and specialisms enable you to charge more and stand out. That is the simple fact. I remember working with a client once, and I was like, a lot of the things I'm doing is I'm refining messages, and he was putting a fair amount of money behind adverts, but it was a very generic message. And I was like, and we got it down so it was quite specialized. And he was like, yeah, but this isn't all that I do. I'm like, it doesn't matter. right? Like you've got to throw a dart somewhere and be specific. Like this may not perform better. And it was counterintuitive that his results were significantly better by speaking to less people, more like targeted. And it was very nice. He really, really praised me. And I mean, at the time, like I was like, this was very basic stuff that we did here. I mean, I don't think it's not that deserving of that much praise, but it was, I think what was really significant to him was that it was counterintuitive. He was like resistant to refining that message because he felt like it was marginalizing people, which it was, but he didn't understand that almost compounds the relationship with the people that you are talking to, because before he's talking to all of those people, but in a big whitewash way. So everyone's still talking, but now he's like talking to those people, but very specifically, so they feel more heard and valued. So anyway, I've kind of gone off on a tangent.
I think this is one thing that people really struggle with. I hear this a lot, I have this conversation a lot, is there's a difference between how you position what you do in marketing and then what you actually do. Like there is a difference between those two things, and niching down and getting more specific on the front end so that, as you say, you can throw the dart is literally for marketing purposes only. Like it's so that you can emotionally connect with people, because you get more specific, and the specificity allows you to emotionally connect with people because you actually spoke into a problem that's got emotions attached to it, or you spoke into something specific that people relate to it. But here's the next part of that a lot of people don't see or misinterpret, is the fact that will actually not bring in carbon copies. You might go, right, I'm going to get really specific and speak into this one problem, which will then bring people into one of the things I do out of it. But then actually that advert doesn't bring in the carbon copy of the people you've been speaking to. And an example of this, and excuse me if Heather will have heard this many times, and some of you may have as well, but for those of you that haven't, my first advert was aimed at mums. I had someone say to me, Cordelia, you should target nurses, because so many nurses want an online business and want to get out of nursing. And I was like, I'm not going to be the responsible person. I'm not going to be the person responsible for like pulling nurses out of the NHS. It's like really unethical. Are you a nurse and hating your life? Well, let me show you how to get a different career. Oh, and then we've got some, I mean, how very funny that I thought that my ads would be that significant that I would actually cause an NHS crisis. But I didn't want to contribute to it, right? But the thing is that like, I went, no, I'm going to target mums, and those mums are going to be people that want to spend more time with their children, want to work from home and have more flexibility. So me and Caroline wrote it, and I filmed it, and we were sat in the Grand Canyon, and this ad literally started like this. It was like, I didn't go into nursing because so I could miss out on important dates like my child's first Christmas and sports days. I went into nursing because I wanted to make a difference. And the whole ad was geared towards mums who then just want to be at home and be able to go to sports days and spend Christmas with their families. The results were in off the back of that ad, and I attracted men. I attracted women without children. I attracted women that wanted to spend more time with their pets, people that were just their career. I attracted people that just wanted to like work from home, a whole rainbow of circumstances. But the fact that I got specific and knew who I was talking to allowed me to tap into emotions, because they were resonating with what I was saying and applying it to their own circumstances. And that's really the thing, isn't it? It's like, that specificity, it does an hourglass effect. You narrow down so that you can widen out. And that's what I see people get confused about, or don't see that at the beginning.
They think specificity means they're going to limit their audience, but I find that it does the opposite. That's what I guess that's the point I was trying to make with the counterintuitive thing. When I was working with my previous client, his name was Rob, it gave him opportunities from people that were completely out of that niche that we'd carved out, because people recognized his expertise better. So it like brought people, and you know, I see this a lot, is like, and I do slightly disagree with the statement that it's purely for marketing only, because I think there's more to it than that. But the fact of the matter is, it's the people are not but the people don't fit in a demographic box just because you speak to this specific thing. What people are looking for is someone who can solve their problems with experience and expertise and insight. So if you present expertise, insight, ability to specify, like if you present skillfulness, then it's going to attract people that want someone who's skillful and masterful. And now, obviously, it's not going to be like, I doubt if we're putting out ads about, our networking event, we're not going to get people interested in vets. Like, hey, I need my dog to get like better. You're obviously very good at what you do, so maybe you'd be a great vet. Like, they're not going to make those jumps. But in terms of like, yeah, I think people miss a lot in terms of their niche. Anyway, I feel like I've like taken this off. Over to you, Heather. What's your thoughts on this now?
I was just going to say, I've got a friend of mine, fellow web designer, and she very specifically markets herself to women. And then got a call from a guy, and he's like, "I'm really sorry, I'm not a woman, but I still want to work with you."
Yeah.
And it was like a great project for her. So absolutely.
Yeah. But then also, it doesn't mean like you don't then have to change your messaging, right? Like you don't have to then change, because then you're attracting men who are disappointed that they don't fit your demographic. That still means you're attracting that person, right? So yeah,
it's still showing how you can help them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the next layer of what happens next, is people get specific and then they attract all kinds of different people, and then they go, oh, I'm actually attracting all these people, I should change the message on the front end.
Yeah.
For those people, and then they go, do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy unpicking someone's message. And like so many people, like I find that they don't want to take that specificity, but I love it when someone does and they get those results, because it feels like a gamble. It's like, I don't want to say this because I'm going to ostracize all these people. So it's like this real, like, it's a trust exercise. And I love it. I love it so much when they do it. And it's like, this paid off in it's such a counterintuitive way. That's the best way I could describe it. Whenever I've helped someone really niche down, which is like my favorite thing to do, really, they feel like it's counterintuitive. And then the results don't make sense. They're like, okay, what? So yeah. Heather, what would you give? What do you think would be the best tips? Like, I don't want to necessarily pigeonhole you on how to niche down, but like, what, in terms of like presenting yourself and achieving those higher conversion rates, what is something someone can practically do like straight away right now, and move the needle? I think we really, really care about giving like tangible, practical advice that actually makes an impact, because there's so much fluff out there. And especially when it comes to niching and messaging and clarification, like that is a whole cloud. Like, it's just so hard to like make a shape out of it. So is there anything tangible and practical that someone could do right away today to stand out more and improve their online presence? I suppose that's a big question.
That is quite a big question, because there's so many different online avenues. But if we took a website, for example, if you have a website, look at how many menu items you have, and see, you could have a sales page for every different service you offer, or you could have that in one service page. You could have that in one service page, and then the particular service that you want to promote and really sell, then have a full sales page for it. And that's what I would say. Also, make it easy for people to contact you. Whether it's your email address on your website or a simple inquiry form. I can't actually do as I say, don't do as I do, because I have a really complex one on there at the moment that I'm about to pull off. And just keep it simple. Some people have a homepage and sales pages, and I was talking about this with someone ages ago, that go on and on and on. But wait, there's more. It's like, I'm over it. It's just we've got such short attention spans nowadays. Keep it simple, simpler if you can, and try different things. One thing, try it. And if it doesn't work out, then try something else. And if you find something that works, rinse and repeat. And I would say that for everything. On socials, I know so many people that sell these expensive masterclasses, and all they really say at the end is track all your socials and see what works, and then rinse and repeat it and repurpose it, use it 6 months down the line, see what works, see what messaging works, you know, see where you're getting the good insights, see the kind of posts that are working for you, whether that's on, you know, the kind of interactions you're getting. Really look at your data and then rinse and repeat.
Looking at your data is a really is a really complicated thing for someone that doesn't know how to do that or what that means. And I'm just going to plug next week we're going to talk into this a little bit on the show, because we're going to be like troubleshooting what to do when something isn't converting. So there is a bit of that coming next week. But for someone who's new to like reading and tracking data, that can be a real kind of alien concept and quite a big thing to learn. But we come back next week because we'll talk about that in more detail. But it's a really, really important point. The reason why we're doing that show next week, Heather, is because I see people just wanting to change direction completely when something isn't working. And I think that there are incremental changes to make first before making big old massive leaps. But I love what you say there, simplify. And I think if we go back to your ASOS analogy, what we, you know, in terms of figuring out perhaps how to prioritize what you're going to focus on when you simplify, is thinking about what is your priority right now. Is it high ticket sales? Is it membership sales? Is it this e-commerce product? Is it that e-commerce product? And you could have a look at your website a bit like how Heather explained ASOS and think, right, well, what's happening this season? Like, what's my priority right now? What's the focus right now? And making sure that that is what's focused on in the menus and on the homepage.
Yeah. So if it's you're getting newsletter signups, often your newsletter sign up part might be quite low down on your homepage. Just bring it up a few rows, see if that makes a difference. If you have a freebie, make sure it's either in the top banner, it's a pop-up. I would say pop up probably on the 5 second or on the scroll, not as soon as people get on the website, because they will scream out. I just read an article about that this morning. Yeah, so look at what, you know, if it's a freebie because you want people to get onto your email list, make sure that that's, you know, it's quite prevalent. If you know, if it's a particular signature program, maybe, you know, maybe it is a high ticket offer that you're, you know, make that a priority. If it's a lower ticket, or if you've got a couple of lower ticket, you know, you can make little fun bits on your website that with nice photos and, you know, this is a really fun thing or whatever. And it's just easier if everything's on your homepage and your link to your website is in any of your social media bios, or you can easily link it and it's not some massively long link. People will, you know, even if they just look at your homepage, it should be a summary of the in-depth that's in the rest of your website.
So like, what's the process that you go through? You get on a call with someone, what do they say to you? And then like, what's the process you go through to solve the problem? Like, could you give us a little run through of like how, like what from start to finish, a basic, not like, you know, the in-depth stuff, but like, this is what they come to me with. This is the first thing that I look at and resolve, and this is the outcome that you've seen. Can you think of like an example or a run through that you can sort of share to just give some context and detail?
And is that from a website? People come to me with actually mostly with an existing website that they've tried to build themselves, or they have built themselves, and more often than not, I'll do an audit of that. And yeah, we talk about how this is going to improve their business, what added functionality, what added features is going to improve whatever struggles they're having in their business. So for example, I did a website for a gas heating engineer. He was getting crazy messages on WhatsApp, and he was like, because he's so busy, and he was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I really need an in-depth inquiry form, a booking form on my website. So that was his priority. He also wanted all his, because he works for residential and commercial, and works for sort of letting agents, he wanted all his certificates on there. That was really important. That's that kind of, especially for him, that's that proof of, I guess, that kind of checker trade proof. You know, that's proof of his qualifications and his authority, I suppose. So that, you know, he came with some things. I've had someone come to me because they have too much on their website, and they want to, like I just spoke before, they want to narrow it down. I've had someone come to me because they had a real basic portfolio website, and actually they want to sell their digital products on there. They want people to be able to book. They want to write a blog. They want to start a newsletter, and they want to have all that kind of on there so that when they're marketing it, it's easy for them to go in. And then subsequently, and it's more often than not, if it's simple and I've done, you know, simple, then it works, and you have the key features and functionality that work for them and solve that problem in their business, they will get the conversions because they're already talking about it. They're already asking people to contact them. They're already marketing the business. Just maybe the actual design or the process of doing that was difficult. And so it wasn't, it wasn't converting. And obviously people, I think, especially certain people think, oh, I build a website, you know, build it and they will come. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily the case, especially straight off the bat. But it does happen, and they will convert. And, you know, obviously SEO gets you found on Google, but people are very discerning now as well. So there has to be some element of simplicity, good copy and design on your website. I think it's what, you know, pre-COVID, maybe, you could probably get away with a lot less. Now, I think people look at hundreds of websites every day, right? So they're quite aesthetically snobbish. So, you know, if something looks good, they're more inclined to stay.
And do you have like, is it like, so you've mentioned like a lot of different
problems. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. Like, this is really cool. Like, is there like, is there something that you go, because I notice like, I when I'm in my specialism, I encounter a lot of different problems, but it always revolves around clarification of your message. And like, I always go like, basically, it doesn't really matter in terms of like, where with my specialism, it doesn't really matter. I always go through a similar process. Like, do you, with all these people that come to you with the website audit, like, do you have the same thing that you encounter? Like, you go, well, this solves almost all problems immediately. Like, is there not one size fits all, but is there like a blanket general thing that can almost help every one of those problems? It's okay if it's not.
No.
Okay.
I think if people do come to me, and more often than not, I will check their website before I'll have a conversation with them if it's an audit. A, because I'm nosy, and B, because I want to know how I'm going to approach whatever feedback I'm going to give. And also my impressions. I want to give first impressions, not as a designer, but just potentially as a consumer. I think the first thing I would always say is how is this helping you in your business? How is your wealth? And, you know, I posted this on social media, an unpopular opinion, you know, necessarily. I know lots of people make a lot of money without having a website. You don't necessarily need one, but if there's a problem in your business that you need solving and you know a website's going to solve it, then let's make sure that it's going to solve it. And so when people, I don't think there's one thing I could say. I think when it's too cluttered, maybe if your website's too cluttered, then I'm immediately going to say, calm down.
That's good advice. Well, I think you did say something there, because you said it was about aligning it with the business strategy, right? Like, that is an overall thing. Like, if you've got a website, it's got to align with what you're trying to achieve. That is one piece of advice. Like, figure out what you're trying to achieve with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, and following on from that, a lot of people ask what's the best platform to build your website on.
Mm.
Do your research. What do you need it to do? What does your business need your website to do for you? Is it, because it's part of your business strategy. What do you need on there? What features, what functionality? Write everything out. What then is your desire? Do you want to be managing this yourself? Do you want someone else to do it for you? And you almost go through a few levels of questioning until, okay, well, then this might be a good option for you. This might be a good option for you. This, you want to have loads of courses and have loads of videos on it, then this is going to potentially be a better option for you. You really just want to blog and have something super easy, then maybe this is a better option for you. I think that's people very quick to jump on the let's build my business a website trend without questioning how it's going to solve a problem in their business. Because I know really well-known and, well, I shouldn't say well-known, but very successful coaches that might have courses on a particular site, but they don't have a landing page. They don't have an actual website. Everything is done through socials. So unless you think it can solve a problem in your business, I would definitely hold back, especially at the beginning, is what I would say.
That's interesting. That's good advice. So figure out your business strategy and then determine whether you even need one.
Yeah.
To support your business. Yeah. Okay. So it's really got to be about, does it support your business? So what are the reasons people might want a website that isn't actually less legitimate, right? Like, does that make sense? Like,
I think it's peer pressure in as much as people think they need to have one. And also, and this is actually a legitimate reason. Everything you put on socials, you don't own, right?
Yeah.
Because,
okay.
Instagram can go down tomorrow. And, Meta, I mean, unlike, but obviously we've seen a lot of Instagram Meta outages. We've seen LinkedIn not go out a few weeks ago. So yeah, I think that's a legitimate reason. People want to own almost like their intellectual property. So I think that's a legitimate reason. But what I don't think is a legitimate reason is just having one for the sake of it. If you have a great marketing strategy and a great social media presence on multiple platforms, if you have one platform and you're not engaging with your community, then maybe you want to have a website so that you can be found on Google if you get your SEO right. But yeah, I think a non-legitimate reason is just doing it for the sake of it.
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure, yeah, of course.
And then a legitimate reason is because you get to own everything.
And
I guess
it's proof, isn't it? It makes you professional, authentic. In theory, I mean, it's not always the case, but I think for a lot of people, they feel that having their website, and also it's a really great place to have everything. Have everything that your services. It's a great place for conversions because you've got your newsletter on there, you've got contact forms on there.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And it's interesting. I've not heard that argument before. It's like, well, you own everything on your website. I guess that pulls the problem though. It's like, well, yeah, the website then needs to have traffic. Right, because like if it's like, oh, okay, I own it, everything on social media is like owned by Instagram or by Facebook, so what if that's where the people are, right? Like that's kind of what you want to do. So then the next question is, how do I get people onto my website?
Well, you send them there.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you send them there, you advertise it, you talk about, I've got a special offer that's only available on my website, here's my link. You send people there, or you have really great SEO so they find you on Google, or you're writing blogs every week So your SEO is more improved. So people are finding, you're collaborating with other people. So people are finding you through other things. You're writing articles for people. You know, you're getting visible, regardless of whether that's on social media. That could be in, I guess, online magazines, you know, online newspapers, in print, whatever it is. The more you get visible, then more people, you can send people to your website.
And what is it like? So we've got like a lot of like insight in like the bits and bobs and like what's important, like problem solving and how to strategize your website to suit you, and also a tip on getting people there, like promotions and blogs. Why do you do what you do?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Oh. And
Um,
then I'm going to get Corks to jump out because I've definitely hijacked this conversation.
I really enjoy helping people, actually, and especially people that aren't that tech savvy. I really enjoy it. That's why I do it. That's why I'm still doing it. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of fun with like creating branding colors and putting together things and making things look pretty and coming up with random social media ideas. And I don't know, I enjoy it. That's the only reason I do it. I think if I'm not one of those people that would kind of beat myself over the head with something if I didn't enjoy what I was doing. So, and yeah, ultimately I like people and I like helping people. So
When did you discover that? I remember like discovering the marketing bits and the tinkering about online, and I absolutely loved it. But when did you discover that?
oh, quite a few years ago, actually. I was in a very toxic corporate environment and I ended up having to take some time off. I kind of got signed off and I decided to start. I was all over YouTube and Facebook. I was looking for like my next big, you know, how I was going to make my millions overnight. Of course, that's not how it happens, but you know, you try. And so I started a Shopify store, drop shipping from AliExpress.
Oh my God.
Oh, I laugh
You're
now.
twinning here. Like, apart from the corporate bit, I started mine for a different
The
reason.
NHS is a bit corporate. It's a gigantic corporate entity.
Yeah, but it wasn't
does
the
do good
reason
things.
why I started
Yeah,
it.
okay, fine.
And I just really loved putting together the Shopify site.
Same.
So,
I
and
loved it
finding
too.
and finding all these products on AliExpress. I had like the most beautiful dresses and t-shirts and finding all these images to put on my socials. And it was called Jeans and a Nice Top Shop. It was great.
Ooh.
The
No,
whole
but it's better than
concept.
what my shop was called. My shop was called Toy Ride, which sounds really, really dodgy. It was ride on toy cars, okay, everyone. It wasn't anything dodgy at all. It was fairly wonderfully innocent, actually. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I really discovered that then, and I was a web designer for a little while. I was kind of makeshift web designer. I was selling websites and stuff. But I think, did you have that? When did you decide to stop like dealing with products and start selling services instead?
I mean, I say I started a Shopify store. It
Did you sell
lasted
anything?
about 30 seconds. Well, no, because I was buying these products in from AliExpress. So I ended up getting a couple of sample products, which of course I should have done before. Well, you know, made in China, you know, a size 12 is basically a size 0. It's like, what is this? You know, it's like a child's dress. I was like, no.
God.
And yeah, just didn't quite get the marketing, like didn't know anything about doing like Instagram for business, didn't know any of that. So, and also Shopify was really expensive after a while. And I thought, what am I doing? I'm not making any money. So I thought, okay, but I still loved that process.
Learned things from it. It was like an educating process. So what did you do next after that then?
I actually I dabbled in affiliate marketing.
Oh my God.
I know. And actually what's really funny is I did sign up for SFM. I was in there. I didn't pay, but I did like the whatever the free thing was.
7-day free video series.
Yeah, and then
Wonder whose affiliate. I wonder whose lead you were. Do you remember who your affiliate was? Probably Dan Holloway.
no, it was this, and then it was this guy that was trying to sell me, and he was really aggressive, trying to sell me onto the program. And I just remember thinking,
Was
no.
it the affiliate trying to sell you on, or was it the team? Do you know?
Can you dig out those emails? I'd love to see.
Yeah.
It might have been the
She's
team.
so
I just
organised. She's definitely
Lifestyle
deleted them.
team.
The lifestyle team.
It was like a guy, I think he was living in Dubai or something.
Oh, okay.
Or was he American? I can't remember. I just remember
We need
things.
these. We need the dirt. We need the
We
We need
tea.
the
We need.
receipts. I need to
Yeah.
have
We
a
need.
look.
We need. Yeah. We need.
But
We need to get.
I
We need to
bought
figure it out.
I bought
the
a
good old
domain,
days.
and I remember like trying to connect my DNS, and my domain was affiliate
Oh.
marketing sidekick, because I thought that would be so fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I never really did anything like that actually. And then I think just other things happened in my personal life, and I kind of put everything like that on the back burner. And then I signed up to do a yoga teacher training course, because I love yoga and I just wanted to learn more about it. I didn't really want to teach it, although I have since taught it. And that was during the pandemic. And then I decided to, okay, this is going to sound really weird, but actually that really sparked my creativity. Putting together yoga classes, you have to be quite creative. You have to see how things flow into each other. And that kind of sparked my creativity. And obviously it was journaling and meditating and doing all that good stuff. And then I was going to build a website for my yoga business. I still haven't done. And kind of learned how to build a website and thought, oh, this could be a bit of a money spinner. And then just kind of started to get clients. I was doing free website audits. I was like, let's give me some experience. And then got clients just updating their websites, and then started getting clients to build websites. And then, and then did it completely backwards. Then kind of wanted to use some of my corporate experience kind of to do VA work and social media management. And then so kind of added that. And then I started coaching someone randomly last year, because they were building their own website. And then Caroline made me sit down and look at the data, because I had people keep approaching me to help me to ask for things like strategy or for, all these things. And she was like, why don't you just put everything together and look at what people are asking me for? And so I've stopped being a slasher, and here we are. That's what I've done.
Yes. I like that. I'll take credit.
Can we define slasher for people that didn't see your
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So like model / actress. Obviously not me, but it could be, Vogue.
Yeah. So I mean, our journeys are quite identical in some aspects. It's really fascinating. Like, my first business was Shopify e-commerce, importing from Alibaba, but it was ride-on toy cars. Did that for 2 years, couldn't make a profit. Started affiliate marketing with SFM, started designing websites, was a social media manager, then went into consulting. I wonder how many other people do that pathway.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to know.
I bet it's really common, because once you start doing websites and social media, and you kind of get really familiar with all the tools, and people come to you and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't even. I was chatting to someone yesterday, they were like, oh, Canva, and I'm like, you just need to have templates. Like, let's make things easy on yourself. But there's some things that I do now that really don't take me that long, but people spend hours on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think
in the learning curve.
Yeah, and also it seems like as well, it's the thing that I'm picking up on this is like, so because that's similar to my journey, only slightly different direction, because I think I tried with an online store. Like, I'm sure at some point I tried to do something like, I don't think I went as far as Shopify. I can't remember. Probably I actually had a market stall in Camden at one point. So I actually did a brick and mortar, we'll say, no bricks or mortar. I'm pretty sure it was like a plastic fold out table. And yeah, like, and we definitely, I did more of a marketplace type thing.
What did you sell?
Vintage clothes.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. I can see.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my dress sense has definitely changed. I'm going to try and jazz it up again soon, because I used to be very into vintage clothes, and I would call myself a fashionista. Oh, okay. But anyway, so I did the vintage clothes, and I was really like into that. And then I must have tried did the affiliate marketing thing. And with the affiliate marketing thing, I realized that I was good at adverts. Like I was good at creating adverts, and I ended up like a lot of I started helping people with adverts within that community. And then that just what it did was it showcased my natural aptitude for a specific area. Like my ads performed well, but I had no idea how to do all the tech stuff or all that stuff. So it was a failure in terms of like the affiliate marketing thing. But the ads, they had good metrics, and working with other people, they were like leaderboard affiliates. So it kind of taught me like, okay, so I'm clearly good at this. And that meant like, oh, I have a serviceable skill, and your skill is, you know, it's something we talk about this, the staircase of doom. You know, your skill is something you can sell at a high rate if it's worth something. So that was kind of like my journey, is like figuring out, oh, I actually have like a really valuable skill. A lot of that skill came to educating myself in a particular area, right? Like it was, I had to have learned marketing and advertising and the basis of all of that to know, oh, I'm good at writing adverts. Okay. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't have been able to niche down, because I have a degree in writing. Like I was given a scholarship to do my master's in creative writing at a prestigious school, but I didn't know how to apply that in a business sense or an actual like a niche, I suppose. I can't just go, I'm a writer. Like, what do you want me to write? So I guess that enabled me to niche down those skills. So that's the kind of the thing I'm tracking, is like, you get into these education things, it enables you to niche into like a service that you're like, yeah, actually there's people that are struggling with this where I have the edge. That's what I picked up. And I would love for Cordelia to go, no, don't see that at all. Completely. You're just reading into something there.
I bet I do see that, but I don't think we recognize that in ourselves. I think we find that things are easy because they are easy. And actually, there are areas that I am skilled in that at the time it's like, oh, you know, I've just learned how to do this. I can help people to do this. But there's like some things that come more naturally to us than other people, and some things that we develop a real skill in doing. And I think at the time we don't necessarily recognize that, which makes it very difficult to monetize, because we go, oh, well, if I can do that, anyone can do that. So why would anyone pay for that? Like, surely that's like so easy.
You undervalue your abilities.
But it's actually the smartest thing to do if you're in that area. Like, I know we have a lot of network marketers here in Rebellious Business Network, and we have a lot of network marketers that we work with that are affiliate marketers in MLM, like whatever. If you're selling someone else's product, basically, and getting a commission for doing so, regardless of your uplines and downlines and all the other things.
Tier ones, tier twos.
Yeah, tier ones and tier twos and all the things. You know, there's a really clear thing here, is like, position yourself as the personal brand, and have the product that you are offering as something that you are affiliated with, rather than the be all and end all of your existence online, because that allows you to then diversify and do other things. So as you're in MLM, or as you're selling your utility warehouse, or essential oils, or SFM, or what hot tubs that you're affiliated with, whatever it is that you're selling, it enables you to, as you're learning how to sell that, you will then become skilled in different areas, and you can actually offer that as a service to other affiliate marketers, other people that are in the same company as you. You may not be able to directly promote into utility warehouses community, that you can help them build a community for their utility warehouse leads, for instance, but you will have people that you're connecting with, that you're chatting with on WhatsApp or in Messenger, or you meet at events, or you know that you connect with, and you can offer to support people with certain things. And this is what I did, is like, you know, it was my first clients for web design, social media management. They were all members within the SFM. They were members of the affiliate marketing thing that I was involved in, and I wasn't allowed to promote my services in there, but I didn't need to, because I was just so flipping helpful to everyone that had people talking about me or wanting to ask me questions or coming along to Q&As, and I'll be like, let's jump on a one-to-one, I can help you with this. And then I'll, you know, offer them that service on a one-to-one call. So we were taught to learn, do, teach, and just monetize the teach bit. Learn it, do it, teach it, and monetize the teach bit. Because, you know, if you figured out how to do something, there's so many people in exactly the same arena as you that need help with that. And going back to what you were saying a minute ago, Heather, about how that first website, like, how long did it take you to build your first website?
My Shopify or my WordPress?
Well, Shopify is quite easy. I mean, I guess it depends what tool you build on.
WordPress was awful. And I was doing a course. I was like you know, it was a course with someone, and, you know, it was supposed to be helpful. Oh, it was awful page builder. I couldn't get it responsive. The copy was terrible. I mean, it was horrendous.
I gave up with my first one. I was like 3-4 months building it, and in the end I was like, fuck, I just can't, I give up. And then my second one, the reason why I got that one done is because a friend of being Caroline's, Alex Smale, little plug for him, just gave me his website. It was like, I'll just clone it for you and you can just make it your own. So I had his as a template, which was great. But then
I had it as well in my About Me page. I couldn't really get rid of Alex Smale's website at the bottom because I didn't understand how to flipping change header and footers. So I had like basically loads of stuff about Alex Smale. All I did was change the pictures and the text, but it was still his website.
Within 6 months, I was so au fait with websites that I was charging like £800 to £1,000 to help people not need to go through the month's worth of slog that I went through to learn how to build a website. So that's just kind of like the point, really, isn't it? It's like, yeah, the first time you do it, it's going to be really, really hard. If you then get that skill, you can help other people with that. So they don't have to go through what you went through. Because
you can spare them the misery.
Honestly, it's like midnight, up late at night, like just playing with margins and padding to try and make. I
have
definitely
to stop.
don't still do that.
With writing, I have to stop because it makes me unhappy. Like, I love writing and I could spend like so long writing, but it's one of those things where there's not really an end. Like, there's no end, and you can get to like 3 a.m. and you're in the dark and you're like, oh, this is not good for my life. So yeah, I have to stop myself, because otherwise I'll just invest my life into Google Docs. It's just not a worthy investment, I don't think.
I mean, especially when you have then so many Google Docs and you can't find any of them because they're just everywhere, and there's
I then don't do anything with them. I just like writing. I'm a writing machine. Sometimes I come across a book I've written, I'm like, what? Where did this come from? This is brilliant. Why haven't I done anything with this? Yeah, I just write and just write.
Oh my gosh, you just reminded me. I started writing something ages ago. I don't even know what that is. How funny.
Well, we are over the top of the hour.
Ooh.
Heather, it's been awesome to have you on here, and
thank you so much for having me.
How could people get in touch with you if they want a website audit? Because you have plugged those and I think they sound really juicy. So
they're really fun.
How could they get one?
You can email me on hello@78designs.com. You can go to 78designs.com and you can book a call.
Is this the number 78 or
no? Sorry, it's written in long.
70 C. No, not spelled with a C, an S.
So yeah, the written word 78. There's no dash in between. 78designs.com. Or my Instagram is 78webdesigns. Feel free to just slide into my DMs.
Slide into our DMs. Have a cheeky little slide in.
And say, hey, I need a website audit. And yeah, I'll be more than happy to set that up for you.
Or if you're feeling really lazy, just say website audit, like it's a command. I love it when we say to people, just DM me like interested, and people just like, interested. It's like, oh, you're really
capital letters.
Yeah. Like, really didn't want to
really are interested. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John's like website audit. John,
website audit.
John's been building. He just put a note in saying he's been building websites since '96. I'm pretty sure he's okay.
Yeah. Like, is it still the same website? Just that
And
it's like Cordelia magnetized. You did 3 months. John's been doing it for 23 years, still not finished that one website since 1996. It's time to get a website
also,
audit.
just to add there, are you counting that first website, John, as your MySpace account? Because that doesn't
Yeah,
count.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Was MySpace available in 96? I'm not sure it was, I'm not sure it
No,
was.
I remember
you
there was
remember the old-
Ringo. Was it Ringo?
Ringo's the parking payment.
Yeah.
No. It was pre-Facebook, and it was around the time of MySpace, but it wasn't MySpace. There was a couple of ones we used, and I can't remember what they were.
Oh no.
I used them when
Bebo.
I was traveling. What was it?
It was I used Bebo.
That might have been Bebo.
Yeah, Bebo. Oh my God. I have some very like terrible website content up somewhere in the world. I had a Bebo website, which was like just pictures of my friends drinking vodka at 15 from the bottle, like thinking I was so cool. Like, look at me, I'm in a school uniform with vodka. Oh no. Someone please help me find that, because that needs to come
No
down.
way that still exists.
I
Caroline.
hope not. But either way, I've just told the
I
world what it
nominate
is anyway.
Kieran Skillett to help you find it.
Yes.
He'll help you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Go on, Kieran, find my former Bebo site. I would love that. That'd be very handy. Oh God, I can't even. Oh God, the thought of it makes me shrivel up inside.
Well, listen, I'm going to Italy tonight. I've got business coaching this afternoon.
Exciting.
We've just moved CRMs, and I've got a whole flipping thing with. So I'm going to have to take a stage exit left. But it has been phenomenal hanging out with you, ladies. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Everyone else.
too.
And Caroline, if you want to go ahead and close out the show, I will leave it to you.
Oh, well, I think you just did a great job. The show is closed. We are now not going to be streaming in 1 minute. So
Romeo done.
Romeo done. Thank you very much, Heather. We're letting John
Thank
Denley in
you.
one more time.
I know, my goodness. In and out.
For
in and
anyone
out.
listening on the podcast, we have live audience participants, and John has been entering and exiting the whole show. So we've let him in one more time to say goodbye.
Maybe next time we'll just add him as a co-host, and then it won't come up.
Yeah, okay. Or we just make him watch on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, one entrance pass.
Poor John doesn't even know
Poor
what to say.
John.
He's in the waiting room. We love you, John. Right. I'm out.
Right.
Lots of love, guys.
See you later.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.